The date of this video is recorded is June 3rd, 2021. And in 2 days, it will be June 5th, which means it would have been 3 years since BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle has made its way over to the US. And I want an excuse to talk about it. Honestly, I've already said my piece about Cross Tag Battle. I've literally broke down the game to like an unfathomable level of breaking it down. So I decided, you know what? How about I just go from series to series already in the game, like each franchise already in the game, and I just talk about what 5 characters I would have wanted from those specific franchises into this game. I'm going to start from BlazBlue, then going down to Persona 4 Arena, then Under Night, then Ruby, then Sinrun, then Arcana Heart, and then finally Akatsuki Blitzkampf. And I'm going to start with BlazBlue because BlazBlue still has about 17 characters left. There are 19 characters already in the game, and the 17 left would essentially make up Central Fixture's roster of 36. So I'm going to talk about what 5 characters from BlazBlue I would like to see in this game. Honestly, it's funny trying to go through what's left of what BlazBlue has left because it's just funny to talk about. And it's funny to say, hey man, what characters would I want to see from BlazBlue in Cross Tag Battle? So without further ado, let's get on to it. I think it's a no-brainer to say that I really want to see Kokinoe into this game. Now, gameplay-wise, I was never hot on Kokinoe. I find her moves interesting, but trying to play as her is like a hell and a half, at least to me. But knowing that she could have gotten her theme song, Science Fiction, even though it would have been butchered to a minute long, which sucks major balls. That's the one thing I don't like about Cross Tag. I just don't like how some of the music is cut for some godforsaken reason. I know some matches don't last long, but I just don't like that it's been cut. Like, I know the matches want to last long for the music, they've been longer than that, but it still sucks. But anyway, the point is, Kokinoe would have been fun to see. I feel like Kokinoe could have bounced off a couple of characters really well, and definitely I would want to see what her role would have been like in the 2.0 story mode. I honestly don't know what they could have Kokinoe have done, but I had this idea of Kokinoe having like her factory and making a character go through a trial, or make someone like Naoto or some character go through a trial with some wacky gadgets and stuff like that. I don't know, I feel like Kokinoe would have been great there. Or you could have just shoved her into like the steaming hot ping pong stuff. How Jubei and Nine were talking about, you know, well, mostly Nine was talking about, hey man, maybe Kokinoe would like these, you know, like these souvenirs and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe having Kokinoe there acting as an embarrassed child with their parents being there would have been cool. I don't know, there's something about that would have like been really, really funny. But Kokinoe, I feel like could have bounced off a couple characters well. Like, I don't know what interactions I would have liked to see Kokinoe in. That's the thing about it, because like trying to think that up was super hard for me. At least outside of BlazBlue. Trying to think about other characters, I feel like she would like, you know, I think characters like robot characters like Aegis and Labrys would have been cool to see her interact with. Batista, I swear to God, I just feel like seeing her interact with like the more non-human characters, if I were to say so. Maybe she could talk with Blake or some shit, stuff like that. You know, just maybe she could talk to Blake and it's like, you're kind of a bummer. You're kind of bumming me out or some shit like that. You know, like we're both cat people, but you're bumming me out. Cat people back at my world is more interesting. It's like a reference to Tao. I don't know. That would have been cool. But anyway, yeah, Kokinoe would have been great in Cross Tag Battle. I feel like her interactions would have been great, and just seeing her in the story mode would have been funny as all hell. So saying that Bang should have been in Cross Tag Battle is like a thing that a lot of people kind of share with me. I'm amazed that Bang, of all people, didn't make the cut. You know, like, I feel like of anyone who could have made in the Cross Tag Battle first would have been Bang, right? Like, hell, I feel like you could have at least made it in with the first 40 characters. Because this is Bang we're talking about. He's an insanely popular character. He's an insanely likable character. People love Bang. And so I'm amazed that he wasn't quote-unquote popular enough to make it in the Cross Tag Battle, which kind of weirds me out, you know? I like Bang, and seeing his, like, you know, his loud, boisterous interactions with other characters would have been great. Like, his hot-blooded interaction with certain characters would have been nice to see. And something about it just feels weird, you know? Like, you figure Bang, of all people, would have been in Cross Tag Battle from the beginning, you know? Like, knowing how characters like, I don't know, like, let's say, like, S, oh, I can't even say S, because S was, like, popular for reasons. But like, I swear, like, I feel like Bang could have made it in over the other characters. You know what I mean? Like, something about Bang not making it into Cross Tag Battle, despite being a quote unquote legacy character. Then again, some of these legacy characters, I like to call them because they're from Calamity Trigger. A bunch of them didn't make it in. Well, not a bunch, but a couple of them didn't make it in either. But I feel like of all people, Bang Shishigami, the hero of love and justice, would have definitely got into the game. Like, it just don't feel right, you know? Like, it feels like it's like if you went to the entire cross tag roster, right, and you scroll through it, and if you have a good knowledge of BlazBlue, you're like, okay, all these characters were chosen, you know, yada yada. You look through the playable roster, and you're like, where did Bang go? Where the hell is Bang? Was he here? Did someone just remove him from the game's data? Like, I don't know. Like, someone like, I don't know, like, I couldn't bring to myself to say, like, oh, what if there was a character I could just remove from Cross Tag Battle? Like, honestly, I can't say that, because I like all the BlazBlue characters that they chose for the game. Like, honestly, even if some I don't honestly understand, you know, to why they got in over first, I get to why they're in. Like, you know, like some characters like, you know, like, I don't know how to describe Izoi, right? I don't hate Izoi. It makes sense she got in over base Tsubaki. That's stuff I'm talking about. But and then again, when I think about all the characters that are chosen for Cross Tag Battle, I just don't see one that I could have removed in order to shove Bang in there. So that means Bang will just have to be there. So I won't have to worry about trying to take a character out of the game to fit him in there. Now, Tao. Okay, Tao, definitely yes. And I would just want Tao in the game just solely based on interaction's sake. You know, I don't play Tao, I do not like playing as her, and I definitely don't like her theme song, Cat's Carnival, but I feel like Tao would have been the best character just put on in just for the sake of interactions. Because I do have, like, just the idea of Tao being there and her interacting with the various characters is a funny thing to see, you know? Like, I feel like she would have some good interactions with characters on the roster. I honestly couldn't think of anything that would be, like, mega funny. I do feel like I could get an idea of what they could be, because it's Tao, you know? Like, I feel like she could hang out with some kind of, you know, characters who are smarter characters who just... I can see her giving the business to Yosuke, though. You know, I can see Yosuke's trying to, you know, actually take a fight seriously once, and then there's Tao over there just being stupid, and then she won't listen to him, and then she insults him in some way or something like that. You know, like, I know I don't like giving Yosuke the business, because I feel like he's gotten treated unfairly in Cross Tag Battle and everything post P4 anyway, but I feel like that's the one interaction I would like. You know, definitely just Tao giving Yosuke the business unknowingly, and I just found that, like, something that would be really funny. I could also see her interacting with Teddy for some reason. Like, I feel like both her and Teddy would have been like an annoying group of characters. Like, not group, my bad, a duo. An annoying duo of characters that would have been just something funny to see. I could also see her being interacting with Naoto, because Naoto does like cats, and I feel like in some way he would try to, like, treat her like a cat, like an actual cat, and Tao wouldn't like that, or Tao would like that. I don't know. I honestly, I'm trying to think of good ideas, because, like, Cross Tag does have a way of trying to, like, you know, throw off expectations. There are some characters that got interactions that I was never expecting, like, for example, like characters like Ruby and Susanoo, you know, Naoto and Yosuke, like characters like that. I was never expecting them to ever get an interaction at all. I feel like this would have been a great time to introduce a Blitztank interaction. Like, I know Blitztank has no interaction because, you know, he's a tank, but I feel like Tao commenting that he's just a giant tank and Blitztank's eyes shining to snow that he responded in some way would have been funny. Seeing her interactions with Ruby would have been nice. Blake, definitely Blake. She can bounce off Blake pretty well. Blake is a serious cat person. Tao is a not so serious cat person. But yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. I'm not good at this whole interaction, coming with cool interaction ideas that don't kind of tie back to the main source material. And considering that Tao doesn't really... Oh, Tao and Ragnar, obviously. Yeah, Tao and Ragnar would definitely be it. But I'm not trying to go all over the place and spend forever to figure out interactions. The point is, yeah, Tao would have been great for this game. And interaction-wise, at least. I just want Izanami in the game for just one reason only. Well, actually 2 reasons. Okay, maybe 3 reasons. 1, I get to hear Yomotsu Hirosaka, even if it's a butchered version, in this game. And since Izanami is coming along, I can also hear Bloodline, because I just want this game to have more music. Like, I'm going on a little tangent for a bit here, but having Izuyoi come into this game and not Tsubaki kind of limited all the other themes she could have brought with her. I don't see why, if they can retool Reincarnation to fit Jubei just to put that song in the game, I don't see why not bringing Izuyoi along can't bring songs like Memory of Tears, or Condemnation Wings, or Childish Killer. Like, I still don't just get that. Like, they could clearly bring those songs in, they just won't. But anyway, the point is, Izanami being in this game, cross-tag Ribcage. I'm not gonna make that joke, but honestly, I would like to see Izanami here. I don't know, just seeing her interactions with some of the more effed up characters in the roster would have been funny to me. Like, I can't think of anything humorous because I'm not very good at this, though. I would have liked to see her have an interaction with Susanoo, though. That would have been nice to see. Like, these 2 Shinto, quote-unquote, actual god in Susanoo's case, quote-unquote, not god in the case of Izanami. You know, drive existence and all that. I could see I can see her interacting with you, because you can, like, after they do the events of Persona 4, you know, obviously you and the investigation team fight Izanami, so I can see Yu Narukami making a comment about it. It's like, your name is also Izanami or something like that. I don't know, like, I can see her having an interaction with Adachi. I don't know how, but knowing how Adachi has Magatsu Izanagi, maybe there could be making an Izanami joke there. I don't know. I can see her interacting with Hilda. Like, I'm trying to think of interactions that would make sense in some fashion. I'm not trying to find ones that just go out of the way to try, you know, go out there, though I would have liked those more. I just can't think of them because I'm not that imaginative. I freaking suck. She can have an interaction with 9. They did work together at one point. Quote unquote work together. She can have an interaction with Naruto, concerning the whole Saya business. He can actually acknowledge that, hey, you're Saya too. You're Saya Terumi, but you're not Saya Terumi, but you're actually Saya. Ragna's Saya. Like, I could just imagine that happening. I can see her having an interaction with, obviously, Ragna, Jin, and Noelle. She can have an interaction with, I don't know, I think that's it. I think that's the best ones I got, like, off the top of my head. Like, those are the ones that would work in my case. I could see her having an interaction with Elizabeth in some weird fashion. I don't know. Elizabeth could comment that she's kind of weird, but she doesn't really care. But Elizabeth wouldn't really care. Maybe Izanami could be there to have an interaction with Linne. You know, there's the whole situation of them having, like, you know, situation with their bodies. I know. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit to the wall now. So I wanted to give some other BlazBlue characters a fair shake, and so I decided to make this little honorable mention section before I moved on to my last character. Now, these are characters I would have wanted in, but for whatever reason, cannot make it in. So characters like Amane and Relius, whose astral heats have to accompany every character and would technically have to make a brand new astral for everyone on the roster, was a little bit too unrealistic for my taste. So I had to leave that out. Even though I would have actually chosen Amane for my last option, I had to keep him out because there's no way in hell I could barely even think about what astral could work on everyone else, and I didn't want anything dumb, and that would have taken a lot of work. So yeah, characters like Amane and Relius are out of this. I have to keep characters like Lambda out, even though she doesn't play exactly like New she used to. It's the gameplay that kind of ruins it for me. If Lambda was a completely different character and played a completely different way, yeah. If Lambda, like, I would have chosen Lambda, honestly, if it was just for her interaction's sake, but I had to leave her out as well, and it bums the shit out of me because I'm like, why did I have to do this? Now, I could have added Mu in, but some of these characters get treated as if they were the characters from their series. So, like, putting Mu in, I know that would have been slightly different, but that still wouldn't have, would have been odd. Same goes for characters like Tsubaki and Terumi. Terumi acts his own way. He is, his own way here. But the game kind of treats, at least in interaction's sake, that Susanoo is still Terumi, which he is. And they do the same thing with Tsubaki, just on a bigger scale. They actually straight up just say, yeah, Tsubaki, you're just in your Izuyoi armor or whatever. So Yeah, the same would have been for Noelle, right? Even though Moo is split from Noelle as a central fish, and they just came out together anyway, so it doesn't matter. That would have, I had to get rid of that little rule. So characters like Moo can't make it in, Lambda can't make it in, Relius can't make it in, Amane can't make it in, Terumi can't make it in, and Tsubaki can't make it in. And that leaves my options pretty limited because these are characters that no one really talks about. So my final option, and the character I would have wanted to make it into this game, is Kagura. And the only reason I chose Kagura because it's not that I have anything against Kagura, but my options for other characters were super limited, and I legit don't know why I would have chosen them in the first place. Now, Hibiki, I would have chosen him for his gameplay. I actually like playing as Hibiki, I would have chosen for that, but choosing a character just based on their gameplay, for me personally, is just something I wasn't, happy with. I want to choose a character that I would like to see based on their interactions and just like overall place in the game, whether it's for music. Like I want a good amount of factors to put characters in just outside of one thing. Now, granted, I did say that same thing about Tao. I've only added in for interactions, but I think Tao's interactions has a lot more reach and whatnot than Hibiki's gameplay could for me personally. Now, I would like to play Hibiki there, but I mean, I wouldn't have won him there. If I had an option to choose a slot, I wouldn't have chose Hibiki. That's the thing. And characters like Carl, no, I don't hate Carl, but I'm not gonna deal with that. And Bullet, I like Bullet, but no. Same goes for Arakune. I like Arakune, but I don't know. I'm not even gonna wonder how the hell they're gonna handle him in Cross Tag. And the same goes for Lychee and Valkenheim. I know characters like Lychee could have worked based on, like they could have kind of attached the Matembo to her sprite in some fashion. I don't know how they would have done that. They could attach it to her boobs. Everyone else would have worked. There's some characters that could work in the Cross Tag Foundation that they surprised me with before. It's just a little wonky, but in regards of Kagura, I feel like he has the better option of making it in for me, based on interactions, based on music, and a little bit of the gameplay. Now, as for interaction's sake, I don't know how it's going to work because like the one thing I wanted him to do was flirt with female characters, or at least just do his little eye scan thing. But granted, he can't do anything with the Persona 4 characters because they're all younger than him, with the exception of characters like Mitsuru and Elizabeth. And if you want to go further than that, I guess Elaborate, because they're not even human to begin with. And he can flirt with characters like Hilda, because Hilda, it's just Hilda. Of course he was going to do it. And obviously the female characters, the BlazBlue cast. And he doesn't have to just flirt with them. He can just actually team up and do something epic. I don't know what he could have did. I thought about him like teaming up with Akihiko, right? Because Akihiko could remind him of Azrael. He can also team up with Azrael, obviously. He could team up with Ragna. He could team up with Noelle, because he would, just try to flirt with Noelle. He could team up with Makoto to refer that time they may or may not have slept together. He could team up with Izuyoi, because, him and Tsubaki are already friends anyway, so they can have like more of a camaraderie kind of thing going on. He could flirt with Mai. He could make a comment about S, stuff like that. It's simple. He could also do it with Gordo. I almost forgot to mention, he could team up with Gordo, and that would be funny as hell because they could probably mention that they look like each other. Like, if Mori added Kagura in and didn't capitalize on it, I was going to lose my shit in some fashion. So, yeah, Kagura would have been in, plus Black Aggression would have been nice, but knowing that Black Aggression would have been cropped to shit and back for only a minute, I don't know how I would have jived with that. So, yeah, that's it. That is all the characters I would have wanted for this game. And with that marks the end of the video about the top 5 characters I would have wanted into this game. Now, again, I'm going to move on to the Persona 4 arena characters, and then move on from there, from Eunice, or Uniclear, my bad. And then we got Ruby, then Sinrun, and Arcana Heart, and then finally Akatsuki BlizzCon. So, yeah, I'm going to get prepared to do all that. So, see you later, everyone. Have a great day. If you guys want to see a BlazBlue character in this in the game that isn't in the game yet, please leave it down in the comments, because I kind of want to hear what you guys got to say about it. So without further ado, I am out of here.